You've taken 4 tests so far. You have 1 left to take. What do you need to have an average of 90? So we know we'll have 1 more score right there. Place your video on pause and answer the questions. Show your work in words or pictures. You could use a number line to solve this problem. The first thing you'd want to do is place your numbers, your current scores, on the number line. So an 85, a 92, an 86, and a 91. And you can see that we're looking for a 90. So in this case, our 86 is 4 down from what we wanted, and our 85 is another 5 down from what we wanted. But our 91 is 1 up from what we wanted, and our 92 is 2 up from what we wanted. So in total, we're 9 down, but we're 3 up. And to even those out, we're going to need another 6 points on our last test to be able to even those out for a 90. So on our last test, we're going to need a 90 plus the 6 more. We need a 96 to end up with an average of 90. For those of you who play football, you can also think of this as downs in a play. Down 4 yards, down 5 yards, up 1 yard, up 2 yards, and you need another 6 to get back to your line of scrimmage. Another way to look at it is to consider if you made 90s on all 5 tests. Because we know we have 4 right now, and we're going to have another test that we're going to take. But it would be the same as if we had 5 90s, because that would give us a total of 450 to find our average, or our mean. We would divide by the 5 tests, and we would be back to a 90 average. So let's compare that to what we have now. What we have now is an 85, a 92, an 86, a 91, and something. And when we add them all up, we know that they're going to have to equal 450. So that when we divide by 5, again, we can be back to our average of 90. If we add up all of our points so far, we would have 354 points. And we know we have to add something to it so that we can equal 450. To find what our last score will be, we would just subtract 354 from both sides, and we can see that we would need a 96 for our last score. We could model this same idea using a variable and an equation. To set up your equation, think about how you would actually solve the problem. You know that you would add your 5 scores together, but in this case, we'll make our 5th score an X to represent the 1 score that we don't yet know. Once we get our total, we would divide by 5 because that's how many scores there are, and we would want to get an average of 90. So in setting up these equations, you'll have a numerator, a denominator, and you'll set it equal to your average. So your numerator will be all of your scores plus X. Your denominator will be the number of scores you have, and your right side of your equation will be the average that you're hoping for. To continue solving, we would add up the points that we already know, which are these 4 scores. That gives us 354 plus our unknown score divided by 5 equals 90. Now mathematically, to solve this, we would want to multiply by 5 on both sides so that we can begin to isolate our variable. Then we would have 354 plus something equals 450. And doesn't that make sense? Because we're saying, hey, whatever 354 plus something has to be the same as 5 sets of 90. Subtracting 354 from both sides, we cancel here, bring our X down, equals, and do the same to the other side. And we get X equals 96. So we know that she needs a 96 to make an average of 90. However you find it, we call this finding missing data by using the mean.